Making assumptions. What are assumptions? An assumption is something that is believed to be true or probably true, but that is not known to be true. So in other words, assumptions are guesses. Guesses are sometimes right and sometimes wrong. People make assumptions every day. People make assumptions to understand and to survive. Let's look at examples of how people use assumptions to understand. If you look outside your window and you see people are carrying umbrellas, then you know it's raining. If you see someone eat a meal and they rub their belly, then you know they enjoyed the meal. Here's an example of how assumptions are used to survive. If you see a group of people running and screaming from a building, then you know it's not a good idea to go into the building. If you see many people outside wearing masks, then you know it's not safe to go out without a mask. However, assumptions aren't always true. Assumptions can lead to misunderstandings, and they can be harmful. Let's look at some examples. Thumbs up. In certain culture, the thumbs up gesture means okay or great. However, in some cultures, thumbs up shows a bad word. Scenario. A man from a different country travels to a place where a thumbs up is a bad word. He asks for directions and gives a thumbs up when he gets the help he needed. If the person given directions sees the thumbs up, then they would assume, the man is cursing. No tipping. A tip gratuity is extra money you give for a service. Usually tips are given at restaurants, hair salons, etc. In the United States, if you sit down to have a meal at a restaurant, it is customary to tip if you were pleased with the service. However, in some countries, the tip is already included and it is not customary to leave a tip. Scenario. Ji-yoon is from South Korea. She's on a trip to New York for the first time. She decides to go to a restaurant for a meal. Ji-yoon doesn't leave a tip because in South Korea, it isn't customary to tip. If a waiter serves Ji-yoon and she doesn't leave a tip, then the waiter could assume Ji-yoon wasn't happy with the service. Here's our last scenario, and I want you to practice. Let's read it together. No eye contact. Making eye contact in certain countries is a way to show respect. However, in some countries, it is disrespectful to make eye contact. Scenario. Hamza is a new student. He moved to a new country where students are expected to make eye contact with their teachers. Hamza is from a country where making eye contact is disrespectful. His teacher often is frustrated because Hamza doesn't make eye contact. If Hamza doesn't make eye contact with his teacher, then his teacher assumes Hamza is disrespectful. One way to avoid misunderstandings when making assumptions is to ask questions. Thank you for participating.